Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I'm going to discuss two time intelligence functions in DAX, which are very important while you wanted to perform the comparison between the values of two periods. A period can be, let's say, month, it can be a quarter, it can be a year, or it can be a day. It's up to you. But yes, there are two very important functions. If you know this, you will be able to do the comparison very easily, which are I have highlighted in the green color. So the function name itself is parallel period and same period last year. Okay, so let's see how these two functions are helpful to perform the calculations. Okay, so here if I go to this and I'm going to create the new measure. First I will create the measure to get the total sales amount. So I will say total sales. Okay, this is what my measure, and then what I will do, I will simply use the calculate, or I can simply say sum of sales amount. Okay, so this is going to perform the same, even though if we use the calculator or not, it is fine. Okay, even inside a calculator without any filter, I'm going to use. Calculate is useful when you have to perform the calculation based on the modified filter. Okay, so let's say there is a calendar, and if I bring the month here, so month of any year. Okay, and if I wanted to see the sum of sales, I can bring the measure here, right? So measure itself says that for all the year, this is for all the year 2001 to 2004. If I select 2002 only, so this will shows me the sum for 2002 year only. Okay, which is fine. Now let's say if I wanted to create the parallel period, if I wanted to use the function, but yes, these functions you will not able to create the use, since this function returns the tables, but the purpose is not to return the table, not to create the table. This should be used in calculate function to modify the filter context. So if I say parallel period is equal to, I'm going to say calculate, and what is this? So expression can be a measure, it can be your expression the way we have written earlier to get the sum of sales amount. And here in case of filter context, you can say that you wanted to get this function, parallel period function. So this, what this is going to do, actually this is going to return the parallel period, whatever the period you will use to get the values. So here we have used a month. Here we have used a month. Okay, and if I say parallel period, it will be able to return. If I say I wanted to get the value for next month in the same row, okay, so that I would like to compare the values of January month and February month in percentage. I would like to calculate that kind of that kind of calculation. So I will be able to do this. So parallel period is used to get the values of same period by specifying the interval, right? Meaning not exactly the same period, but next period or even previous period also. So here what we did, actually we used parallel period and interval I passed as a 1 month. So in case of month, if you change this to quarter, it will be able to give you the sum of sales for the next quarter. If you say this is for next year, so it will be able to give the sum of for next year. If I use this year, okay, so this is the total amount for 2003, and here I used filter for 2002. If I change this to 2003, you can see that this is the amount for 2003, 97910660. And if you come back, so the same amount you will get here. So based on this, whatever the period you will specify, accordingly it will perform the calculation. But what I wanted to do is I don't want to change the month. Sorry, I don't want to change the year. I want to change the month, and it is fine. the number which I specified is positive. If I specified the positive number, it will move forward, meaning it will take the dates from next month. If I use the negative number, it will go back for the next whatever the number you have specified. Okay, so I said 1 month, so it is giving me the sum of sales amount for the next month for in the context of January month. Okay, so here we have filter for January month. Okay, this is a filter for January month, but we are getting the amount from February month. That is what the use of parallel period. Parallel period is able to modify the filter context in a such a way that you will get the amount for the specified interval. Okay, as I shown you for the year also, if you specify year, it will give you the sum from the next year, no matter what is the date. But yes, it will only pick the year for this one. And now you will be able to do the comparison based on these values. Month to month comparison, it is fine. Okay, now let's say my mood is changed and I would like to do the comparison in previous with previous month. Okay, since this is January 2002, for the previous month it should consider December 2001. And is it possible? Yes, it is possible. You will be able to see that number. So what you need to change is you simply need to change the number here. Let's say -1. Now it will return the amount. This amount is total sum of sales for the December month of 2001 year. If you want to see that, okay, let me select this and you will be able to see that this for the December month, 755,527 is there. If I select 2002, 755,527 is there, right? So this is how it works. It is able to go by either in forward direction, either in backward direction, based on the number, whatever the number you will pass. Okay, and like this, you can do the perform the calculations for month, year, quarter, and day. So that is the type what you specify. Okay, day is not there. Okay, so for these 3 months, quarter, and year, you will be able to do the calculation. If I select next quarter, so it will return me the values of next quarters, quarter wise sum. Okay, even for the Jan, Feb, March, it is giving me the same number. Even for the April, it is giving me the same number. Even it is for the July, August, September, the same number I'm getting, right? This is how it works. So it is very important to specify the interval, correct interval, and then you can find the percentage, you can find the difference between these two amounts. Let's say how to find the difference. If I go and if I select the new measure, so I will be able to use these two measures. Now I will say difference. I wanted to see the amount difference. Okay, so what I can do, I can go either amount can be negative or positive. It is fine. Okay, it is completely fine. Then what I will do, I will simply say total sales minus parallel period. Okay, so this is what my parallel period. If I hit the enter button, it will create the new measure. And if I bring this difference here, you will be able to see that what is the difference between these two amounts. Row by row, you will get the data. This is how you can. And now you have a difference. So you will be able to find out the percentage based on either of the column. You can select parallel period. You can select total sales. Accordingly, it will calculate the percentage. Right. And even in case of filter functions, I have used this kind of measures to find out the percentage, right? So here what I will do, I will say, let's say percentage. Okay, this is fine, percentage is fine. And then here what I will do, I will use the difference. Okay, the difference is measure divide by. Okay, either you can use divide operator or there is a function name called divide, you can use that. This is your denominator, and then sorry, this is your numerator, and you have to specify the denominator. Denominator in case of this, if I specify parallel period, it is going to work. And to get the numbers in percentage, okay, so it is already there. The major name is there. That's why. So if I hit the enter button, you will get these are the percentage change in the amount versus current month versus previous month. If you want to change this, no matter, if you simply go and turn this number to the positive, and you will see the difference between the current month and next month. Okay, this is how it works. And this is what we say these are the kinds of dynamic calculations. This Power BI provide the features to us. Okay, so far we discussed the parallel period. Parallel period help us to get the period from a period based on the month, quarter, and year. Okay, but there is one more function if you want to go by back for a year. So same period last year is one more function, and if I use that, you will be able to see that it will be performing the calculation based on year. Okay, so if you want to do the comparison, okay, comparison for current year, whatever the year I have selected here, and for the next year month performance of month wise performance of your sales by 2 years, then parallel period is obviously not going to help us. If we go by year, it will return the sum of sales for that year, but month wise it is not going to give us. Okay, even though if we say month, so in the same year it is going to return month. But if you want to do the comparison for the year wise, year and then month, right, hierarchy wise like this, so you will be able to do that by using the same period last year. This is again one of the time intelligence functions, and I'm going to create the same name function with the same measure with the same name. So same period, if I say last year is equal to, and then there is something called, okay, same period last year, and dates, you have to just pass the dates. It is not going to ask anything. But whatever the period you have selected, okay, whatever the if you select quarter, it will work for the quarter. If you select month, it will work for the month. If you select day, it will work for the day automatically. Need not to worry about this. If I bring these, okay, the problem is what, again I made the same mistake. We need to use this to modify the filter context, not to perform the calculations and return the values directly. So if I say calculate, and then if I say total sales, okay, this is what measure, and then I use this to modify the filter context. Okay, so if I bring this here, okay, yes, even I already bring, okay, the 2 times it has come. I don't want that. Okay, I removed once. Now what I did, I selected 2002 year, right? Simply I selected 2002 year, meaning the data sitting in this first column is for 2002 year, and parallel period was able to give us the month wise data for the next month, for the next month, for the next month, to compare month to do the month wise comparison. But let's say if you want to compare the data, whatever the sales your sales is there in the 2002 Jan month versus the sales in 2001 Jan month. Okay, the parallel period is not going to work with this. I mean, to give this kind of values. But yes, the same period last year is able to do that. Since there is no transition in January 2001, so we are not getting any value. Let's say if you select 2003, right, you will be able to see this column is for 2002 and this column is for 2003. If I select 2004, so you will be able to see the data until this So we have a data until July 2004 versus this is what the 2003, and this will just shows the amount by next month, for the next month, but this will compare, this will return the values from the next year month. Whatever the filter context will be there, month, quarter, or day, whatever you select, it is going to perform accordingly. We not to worry about that. This is how these functions are defined. That is what the difference. So if you go and do the comparison period wise of 2 years, you will go for the same period last year. If you want to do the comparison period wise, but in the current year, parallel period is going to help us. Parallel period is going to help us either in forward, in backward direction. We can do, right? Based on the number, it can move forward, it can move backward. And this is what the same period last year and parallel period function. And this is what the difference in these two functions. I hope you like the content of this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Please do not forget to subscribe webcam.